I'm about to come. I'm about to blow.
Can you believe it, guys?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming maintenance that is happening tomorrow night and everything that has to come with it, all the units, all the events, all the farmable equips, the dream awakenings, the banners, and everything else. So stay tuned, grab a snack, and enjoy the video. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Blue Jacket Part 3. This is introducing a new unit named Marlet. I know there is a lot of controversy over her. Some people like her, some people say that she's garbage. I will be giving you both my biased opinion and my unbiased opinion on her. But before we get into that, we are going to be going over her actual event. So it is Blue Jacket Part 3. She has 2 farmable equips. One is a physical equip. It is 5-star and it's called Flashing Barrel Vespada. It has a 45-second cooldown, 500 break, and then a level 1 attack up passive, so it increases your attack by 5% passively, and then the skill does 7,000% light damage physical, and then increases physical damage by 40% for 10 seconds, and if the user is a light unit, it increases skill CT by 40% for 10 seconds. Her other farmable equip is her jacket, Splendid Garment Vestito Blue, I think I'm saying it right. That has a 50-second cooldown, has 300 break, and then a defense level 1 passive, so defense 5% up. And then the skill does 5,000% light damage physical, increases light damage by 40% for 10 seconds, recovers HP by 10% when the user's HP is 70% or less. So those are the 2 farmable equips. The shop itself, it doesn't say whether or not it's going to be a full shop or not. I'm assuming it's going to be a full shop, meaning it's not just going to be the equips that you buy from the shop. You'll probably be able to buy things like limit break stones, maybe a lucky gem, some potions, some food, and other things like that are in the normal shops. Moving on to what's a surprising comeback, actually, is Roy's event. This is very old event that I didn't think I'd ever see again in the game. I know JP runs past events over and over again on kind of like a rotating schedule, which is really nice. And honestly, I hope they add that to global one day soon. But yeah, Roy's original event, it's not Holy Night Roy's, it's original Roy's event. And it boasts 3 farmable equips. This one, I will tell you, is most likely not going to be a full shop. This one will probably just be an equip only shop, just because I don't think they are nice enough to give us 3 separate full shops with all 3 of the separate events going on right now. But the 3 equips that you can farm from this, one's a 5-star physical called Ice Wolf Blade Gaimels. It has a 70% cooldown, 2000 break, and then has a damage up when near death level 2 passive, so it's 10% up when near death, aka when you get into the red, and then God Killer level 2, so damage up to gods by 20%. The skill is 5000% water damage physical, and then increases all allies attack by 25% for 5 seconds, only once. The second equip is a 5-star heal called Fenrir Crest, has a 60-second cooldown, and then a damage reduction when near death level 2, so damage from enemies 10% down when near death or in the red HP. The skill for this heals all allies by 1000, and then if the ally is a water unit, then the healing is 1.5 times, so it'll heal them by 1500 instead. The final equip that is farmable is a 4-star defense called Fenrir Gauntlets. This has a 30-second cooldown and then damage reduction when near death level 2, which means its damage from enemy is 10% down when near death or in the red. The skill for this, it negates all allies damage for a total of 600 for 8 seconds. only once, and then reduces physical damage by 25%. So for a 4-star equip on a 30-second cooldown, the 25% physical damage reduction is actually pretty good. Another event and Dream Awakening that we are getting is on the Ultra Luck unit, Ganon. So he's getting 2 different Dream Awakenings. The first Dream Awakening is Crimson Dream, and it has Earthbreaker level 6, so break power against Earth units by 60% up, and then damage reduction when near death level 4, so 20% DR down when near death or in the red health. The other Dream Awakening, which is the much better Dream Awakening, is the Aqueous Dream Awakening. Has Fatal Blow level 6, which increases crit damage by 60%. And then Revenge level 4. So when near death or in the red, it autofills Arts Gauge by 4 a second until you heal out of the near death state. All right, on to the main event. Marlet. Her banner, her equip banner, and her Alk banner. So her normal banner, it is probably one of the best banners that I've seen GS have for a very long time. It's been like probably a year and a half since we've had like a really solid GS exclusive unit banner be this good. Basically everyone on here except for the last Earth unit, I forget her name, but all she does is like slightly buff Earth units, and she's not really that special, to be honest, so I wouldn't pull for her. But you have Earth Sistina, which was the original carry tank back in the day. You have Ascended Berwick, which he's not like super great, but for mono fire he is really nice. You have Marlet herself, which we'll get into after, and then you have the one, the only Haruto himself. Still one of, if not the best support units out there in the current meta. If you don't have any other ascended versions of him, so Summer Chloe, or even units like Rimuru, or just any good healer slash archgen slash buffer, Haruto is a must grab. If you do not have this unit and you have the crystals to pity him, I definitely would pity on this banner 100% if you don't have Haruto. If you do have Haruto, that's going to be up to you if you want to full send on this banner. I know that Haruto and all of these other units are going to be part of the 15 unit deluxe Alks summon, so if you have a lot of Alk saved up, you don't necessarily have to full send on crystals. You can test your luck with whatever Alk that you have and see if you happen to grab the main prize Marlet or the other main prize part. I wouldn't go too crazy on the equipment banner. If you happen to want to throw like a couple crystals at the equipment banner, feel free to do so, but I really wouldn't ever summon on a GS exclusive true weapon banner just because you can just go and buy them for 30 rainbow gems. Now that that is all out of the way, I just now realized I forgot to go over the login bonus. The login bonus is just a traditional login bonus. 30 crystals, some potions, a single rainbow gem, whoop-de-doo, some food, and some soul gems. It's nothing too special. We get these login bonuses literally every time an event comes out, and they're pretty much the same thing every single time. Now that that is all out of the way, we are going to be going over the Kenshin resets. So what Kenshin resets are is, if you don't know, all of the one-time free 50 crystal 5-star guarantees, aka the purple button, will be reset for both part 1 banner and part 2 banner. So if you are strictly free to play and you don't want to, full send into the banner, you just don't have the crystals to, you will get 2 more shots to pick up one of the crossover units with the 2 purple button resets. The other thing that's getting reset is the exchange reset. So all of the shops for the event, which I think there's only 2, is going to get fully reset. So to be able to get all the LB stones from it, all the equips, all the materials, all the lucky gems, and whatever else is in those shops. The pack resets are also happening, so if you bought any of the crossover packs specifically and you want to buy more of them, then you can go ahead and buy those. Those are strictly pretty much for whales only, and I mean like whales. I'm talking about you, GS Whale. I know you're listening to this video. And then yeah, that's basically it for the crossover reset. It's just summon resets and shop resets basically. All right, last but not least, we are going to be going over the main attraction, Marlet herself. So there's going to be a bit to go into here. I'm going to try to not go as long as possible because I know we're already kind of hitting the over 10-minute mark on the video. But Marlet is a light human unit. She has a 5-star physical, a 5-star physical, and a 4-star defensive that can be limit broken into a 4-star support. I don't think LB7 is worth it on her. You might be able, like, if you happen to have the extra LB unit or LB unit or LB stone and you happen to really like Marlet, you can do LB7, but I would say just stick with LB6ing her if you have the extra LB stone or if you get an extra copy of her. Her skill has a 13-second cooldown, does 2600 light damage physical, and then increases own arts by 20 and then doubles that if own HP is 80% or more. So as long as you have a decent tank on the team or a healer on the team, pretty much her skill is going to give 40 arts every 13 seconds before any CT reduction that you might have on her. Her normal arts does 22,000% light damage physical, and then for 25 seconds increases all allies equipment damage by 100% and physical equipment speed by 30%. Her true arts does 55,000% light damage physical, and then for 25 seconds reduces enemies light resistance by 80% and evasion rate by 40%. I really like this true art actually, because we don't have like almost any units in the game that reduce evasion rate. I can't even think of any off the top of my head. I know there are a couple out there, but I literally think there are a couple, so like 1 or 2. So that's going to be really good that we have another unit that can reduce evasion rate by 40%. That definitely will come in clutch against certain bosses that just have super high evasion, like the green bird and all the other freaking birds. They all have high evasion rate for whatever reason. Her super arts does 150,000% light damage physical, increases all allies arts by 30, and then for 20 seconds increases all allies physical damage based off of how high Marlet's own HP is when using her super arts. So if she's at full HP, it's a maximum of 200% physical damage buff to the entire team if she's at full HP. That is pretty insane buff. So I personally think Marlet's going to be a sub attacker. I don't think she's going to be a main attacker. She will just be there to also do damage, but she's mainly there to buff everyone. Her passive, each time own physical equipment is used, permanently increase own damage by 30% with a maximum of 300%. Her other passives increases own blind resistance by 80%. All right, time to go over her true weapon. Her true weapon is Vespada. It is a 5-star physical, obviously has a 25-second cooldown without any CT reduction, and then does 5,000% light damage physical. For 15 seconds, reduces enemies' physical resistance by 15%, which is stackable. And there's no limit to the stacking. It just only lasts for 15 seconds though. So you probably won't be able to stack too many of these. But if the user is light, then increases own arts by 10. So her true weapon skill itself isn't really all that great. The passive is pretty good. In terms of like, should you use her true weapon on her 100% of the time? That's really going to be up in the air. Like if you don't have any other low cooldown or high, physical buffing, physical equips, like if you don't have anything better than this, I would say yes, obviously use her true weapon. But if you have better nuking equips for her, like Ashura, or if you have you know, some of those other super low cooldown equips like Freeze True Weapon or the Curse Light Sword, then you could replace this with that. That way you can just get her passive up like immediately, basically maxed out. Her passive, when equipped by Marlet, increases own attack and skill CT speed by 50%. That's pretty good. And then increases own damage by 10% against enemies during break, which is not really that great. But the first part of her passive is pretty good. I like the skill CT down by 50%, and then the attack by 50% is okay. I really wish it was just damage by 50% because damage scales way higher than attack does, unfortunately. But hey, I can't be too nitpicky about it, I guess. Controversy time. So, like I said earlier, there are a lot of people who call this unit trash, and there are some people like myself who really love the unit and think that she's very, very cool and will be used a lot in super niche content and might even be kind of needed in super niche content, or at least to make the niche content, you know, 10 times easier for yourself. My unbiased opinion is she like summon worthy? Like, should you be really trying to go for this unit? Probably not. You could live without her, to be honest. Like, you could just skip if you wanted to. The only reason why I say obviously never to skip the banner is because like it's 50 crystals. One, that's like nothing with how much crystals are farmable on a day-to-day basis and how much we get for like login bonuses and things like that. Like just this event alone, from the login bonuses and doing all the missions for the event, you're gonna get 50 crystals anyway, so just throw a single summon at it. The other thing about her banner is it's such a good banner, especially since Haruto's on there, like that you might as well just full send into the banner if you don't have him, and then if you grab her, great, and you might be able to use her in some sort of content. I will note she is going to be heavily team dependent, and when I say that, I mean she's going to be very well paired with what's his name, Ascended Emperor, because if you slot him in the certain spot, then he reduces physical equipment CT by a ridiculous amount, and then he's a light unit, so he buffs other light units. Star God Lisa would be really good just for the equipment CT. And then I think Mono Light is gonna be really good for her. You could pair her with Light Chloe, so Ascended Chloe. You could pair her with that, what is her name, Alpha from Eminence in the Shadow, the light unit. You could pair her with her. You know, she'd be buffing Marlet pretty good. Like if you wanted Marlet to be your main DPS, you could definitely make her a main DPS. But I just really think like by herself, if you don't have the team for her, then you're probably not going to be able to benefit from her, and you're probably going to get frustrated a lot while trying to use her. It's tough to say, but it just kind of is what it is. Still, feel free to grab her. I'm going to grab her 100%. I'm have like over 70,000 alc ready. I'm hoping that that is enough. If not, I might even just full send into the banner for her, even with the little 500 crystals that I have, just because I do like this unit. I'm the one to tend to like, you know, the quote garbage units, and I always try to grab them because I like to grab them and then make them not garbage, or do showcases on them, you know, potentially in the future to make them stand out and shine. But in a normal person sense, you're probably not going to be able to use her to her full potential for like the general player, because they don't have the account or the units of the equips for her. But without, you know, going into the depressing side of her, she still is a really fun unit though. I would definitely say if you grab her, at least try her out, like max her out, put her on a team that you think is, you know, somewhat good for her, and see what she can do. Who knows? She might be a sleeper unit when she comes out, and she might be able to, you know, dominate certain levels. I don't know. But anyways, without yapping any further, that is absolutely everything that is happening with this maintenance, and they brought a lot to it. That's why this video is going to be so long. But I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for making it this far. Please leave a comment, leave a like. Are you going for Marlet? And then don't forget to subscribe. It really does help the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one. Later.